Today we learned how long a man whose wife was found beaten to death in 2010 will serve for the crime.
Jessamine County emergency personnel are raising money for the family of John Mackey. We'll tell you how, coming up.
And how some hotels are using unique strategies to ensure guests get a good night's sleep.
This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Good evening. A Lexington man was sentenced today for the second time in 4 years for killing his wife.
Donald Southworth was convicted in 2012 for the murder of his wife, Umi. That conviction was overturned by the state Supreme Court. Today, he was sentenced again, this time for manslaughter. Victor Puente has the details in our top story at 5:30.
Donald Southworth pleaded guilty to manslaughter, but he hasn't admitted to killing his wife. His Alford plea admitted there is enough evidence for prosecutors to find him guilty, while he still maintains that he's innocent. In 2010, Southworth's wife, Umi Southworth, was found naked and beaten behind their home. She died the next day from her injuries. In 2012, a jury found him guilty of murder, but the Kentucky Supreme Court overturned that conviction in 2014, saying evidence the prosecutors had presented was inadmissible. In February, he took an Alford plea to first-degree manslaughter. During his sentencing, his attorney argued that victim impact statements presented during his last trial should be inadmissible.
They're trying to affect Mr. Southworth's possibility of parole when he does come up from parole. I think it's a character assassination, and we're going to ask that they not be distributed in any form.
Judge Kim Bonnell overruled that motion and said they could be part of the record. She also said the Alford plea would make it difficult for Southworth to show any remorse when he does go up for parole.
Perhaps she was trying to encourage him at some point to really come clean and tell what he did to his wife.
Redcorn says they would have liked to have gotten a longer sentence, but felt like today was the best they could hope for.
We determined that the best outcome would be to do a plea, to permit him to plead guilty to 15 years and to keep him in prison as long as we possibly could.
Prosecutors say because of the time Southworth has already served, they expect him to spend at least 6 more years in prison. In Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
During the last trial, it was revealed that the Southworth's daughter, Almira, had moved to Nashville with friends of the family.
A shelter in Winchester is helping collect donations for the families affected by today's deadly apartment fire. That fire started about 1:30 this morning at an apartment complex on Spring Mist Lane. Firefighters say 3 people were killed and several others were injured. Beacon of Hope is asking for donations of combs, hairbrushes, baby items, and shampoos. They're putting together care packages for the families staying in temporary housing. They say right now those families need personal hygiene products.
If you just give them necessities and they can get a few outfits they can wear for now and let them regroup and figure out where to go from here, then we can start worrying about getting them clothing and getting them other places to stay and just taking care of their general needs then.
A Beacon of Hope is making extra meals this week if any family affected needs breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They also have extra beds available.
Police say a woman was abducted and robbed at gunpoint, and a second woman was threatened by a man with a gun. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Oldham County. Police say just before 2 yesterday morning, a man with a gun tried to get into a woman's car while she was inside. Luckily, she was able to drive away and call 911. Hours later, a second woman was abducted at gunpoint from a nearby Walmart. She was forced to drive to a bank and take out money.
I'm really devastated about this. I mean, LaGrange, Kentucky, I mean, it's friendly, it's warm. I mean, you've got a lot of nice people here that go out of their way to help people.
Both victims described the man as a white man, about 5'10", with light brown hair and wearing a blue bandana covering his face. And in Boyle County, a man charged in connection to a shooting at a Danville restaurant faces more charges. 21-year-old Rico Penix, along with 3 others, are accused of robbing a Domino's in September of 2014. During that robbery, police say an employee was shot. She has since recovered. This week, Penix answered to charges in connection to an assault of a jail employee. The Advocate Messenger reports that Penix is accused of assaulting a jail employee in January while refusing to return to his cell. And students in Perry County will be out of school all next week. Schools will be closed Monday and Tuesday because of illness, and then they'll close the rest of the week for the Sweet 16 high school boys basketball tournament.
While some showers along with cooler temperatures roll into the bluegrass, looks like a pretty decent weekend as far as the weather. Let's check in now with meteorologist Jim Caldwell. Hey, Jim.
And hello to you, Sam. Out there today, it was nice other than the clouds that were around with us because we were in the low 60s. Very pleasant temperature for this time of year. Yesterday, mid-70s, almost too warm. Unnatural for us. But as we look at some of our headlines for you as we go into the weekend, we are going to be tracking the rain chances returning into the area, and those will hold steady not only for the weekend but beyond. Warmer air will remain the dominant feature as far as the temperatures are concerned, but don't count out that cooler air. It's not giving up. It's certainly going to try to make a run back at us again. Not today, of course. 60 degrees right now in Lexington. We come in at 63 down the road into Richmond, and you've got 67, warmest spot I can find on the entire map, down in eastern Kentucky there in Middlesboro, with, again, the clouds around because they are thick for everybody. One thing that's not, rain. We're not seeing a significant swath of it just yet. Overnight tonight and early tomorrow morning, we'll start tracking some showers here into the area. Our hour-by-hour forecast as we advance into the day tomorrow. You can see tonight around 11 o'clock, 53, 50 by early tomorrow morning. And then the rain chances will be hanging around through the day. Now, I know I've got an icon on each and every hour there highlighted, but there is a chance that we could run into some. But it's not a washout, and it's not nonstop all day for you. And look at that high, back into the 70s. We will track on beyond that coming up for you in just a few minutes.
Today, Nicholasville Police dedicated their new police memorial monument on the front lawn of City Hall. Today's dedication is on the first anniversary of the death of Officer Burke Rhodes, who was killed in a crash on US 27 near the Garrett-Jessamine County line. Rhodes' wife spoke at today's ceremony.
And please know that we are blessed, not by all of the relationships and friendships that we have, but I was blessed to be the wife of Officer Rhodes, and I know that he would be really proud. I love you guys.
The memorial also honors William Paul Ketron, who was also killed in the line of duty back in 1941.
Jessamine County paramedic John Mackey died last November after being hit by a car. Since his death, communities around the Bluegrass have reached out to help his family. While a bill bearing his name makes its way through the State House, Jessamine County emergency personnel are raising money for Mackey's family. Mike Linden has more now from Jessamine County.
It's been several months since Jessamine County paramedic John Mackey was killed on the job.
He was a one of a kind. He lived life to its fullest, and he lived life the way he wanted to live it.
I got Vicky Rice.
To continue to help Mackey's family get by, Nicholasville Firefighters Association leaders sold raffle tickets with a pair of emergency personnel boots as the grand prize. Nicholasville Firefighter Association leaders sold nearly 300 tickets to the drawing, totaling about $750. And while that number isn't a huge one, they say every little bit counts.
And I'm calling to inform you that you have won the boot raffle for...
I have not.
Even with John Mackey gone, his legacy to help people lives on in the form of the John Mackey Bill.
EMS receives no death benefit. This bill that's on the floor will give EMS workers a death benefit just as it would the firefighters as if they're killed in line of duty.
Mackey's stepfather, Joe Kinney, says the bill would give death benefits to 14,000 EMS workers across the state.
We work hand in hand with fire and police. If they get hurt, they bring them to us to fix them. They bring them to EMS to fix them. They should be incorporated in there, and they've just been left out.
In Lexington, Mike Linden, WKYT.
The John Mackey bill, which is Senate Bill 43, goes to the House committee next Wednesday.
Whether you're traveling for business or vacations, getting a good night's sleep is not always easy. Now the hospitality industry is taking note. Some hotels are using some unique strategies to ensure that guests can snooze soundly. For many hotel guests traveling for work or pleasure, falling asleep can be difficult.
If I do it in the wrong way, it will feel terrible.
But thanks to a new sleep program at the Benjamin, a boutique hotel in New York City, Mark Wiles says bedtime is like a dream come true.
I travel a lot all over the country. This is the best I've ever found.
Dr. Rebecca Robbins is an author and sleep expert at the hotel and helped develop the sleep program.
We want guests to sleep, have the best night's sleep of maybe even their life.
Options include bedtime snacks, an extensive menu featuring a selection of pillows filled with water, some that even play lullaby music.
For so long, the industry was giving chocolates on the pillows and leaving things that would be the worst thing that you could do before bed. So there is definitely an industry shift.
Hotels across the country, including Marriott and Conrad Properties, have similar programs with sleep amenities ranging from aromatherapy, bedtime books for kids, even blackout blinds.
We have 209 suites in the hotel.
General Manager Steve Sasso says customizing sleep options is not just good for guests, it's good for business.
Today's travelers are looking for unique experiences, and this provides it for them.
I like the buckwheat pillows and the firmness of their mattresses. That's what works well for me.
Now, research finds about 70% of Americans are sleep deprived. Experts suggest, apart from finding the right pillow for you, introducing neutral tones in the bedroom and eating small pre-bedtime snacks like granola can all help you sleep better.
Still ahead on WKYT, participants took the oath of allegiance today during a U.S. citizenship ceremony on the Transylvania University campus.
I'm Bill Bryant. A political science professor talks about how polarized college students are in this election, and Donald Trump is endorsed by a former rival. The bottom line is ahead.
I'm WKYT's Miranda Combs, and I stand for Kentucky.
Chimneys are in a constant state of deterioration, and most will leak at some point. We solve this problem. Don't call a roofer to fix your chimney. Call Barnhill Chimney Company today.
Considering bankruptcy? Call Atkinson, Sims & Kermode. Start your bankruptcy for only $78 now. Dial 859, call ASK for your free consultation.
It's spring. Time to tackle the tackle box. Get untangled. Get ready. And get into Cabela's for Spring Great Outdoor Days, our biggest sale and event of the season. Get 50% off a Fluger Purist spinning reel, in-store and online now.
Unclaimed freight notice this weekend at American Freight. Over 1,000 truckloads of living room furniture. 7-piece living room groups that include a sofa, love seat, coffee table, 2 end tables, and 2 designer lamps. You get all 7 pieces from only $398 complete. Free layaway till tax refund. Same-day delivery. Come to the loading docks this weekend only at American Freight in Lexington, 272 West New Circle Road next to Walmart across from Jalapenos. Phone 226-0008.
It's easy to command respect at every turn. When you're engineered to literally drive circles around the competition. The all-new Audi Q7.
Good. Stay. Lie down.
I'd like to take this time.
Roll over. Roll over. Almost. Roll over. Good.
It took Joel Silverman years to become a master dog trainer.
Roll over. Good job.
But only a few commands to master depositing checks at Chase ATMs. Technology designed for you, so you can easily master the way you bank.
Where can you satisfy your craving for a delicious 100% Alaskan cod meal? Right here at Long John Silver's.
Enjoy our tasty 2-piece hand-battered Alaskan cod basket. Hand-dipped in our classic batter, now for just $5.99.
Because at Long John Silver's, you deserve more.
Stay connected to the news that matters to you. WKYT. Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Students at the University of Kentucky appear to be more polarized on this year's presidential campaign.
And President Obama seeing his highest approval ratings in 3 years. Bill Bryant has more in today's Bottom Line.
Good evening. What a year in politics across Kentucky and around the world. And political science professors are finding themselves teaching as the winds are shifting quickly and as many of their students are actively involved in the political scene. Dr. Stephen Voss works hard at UK to present a balanced picture of the political process to his students. But he says the current college crowd seems to be politically polarized and attracted to the candidates who call out loudest for major change, such as when Bernie Sanders speaks of a rigged economy, or Donald Trump calls Americans a bunch of suckers.
I also think they're scared. They're very disenchanted. They have a sense the country is going in the wrong way. The future they're inheriting is a bad future, and they're just not sure which radical experiment they're willing to try in order to make things better.
But they gravitate to an exciting brand, it might be fair to say. It sounds like you're saying, right? In whether it's left or right.
That's right. Trump on the one hand, ready to wreck the system. Sanders on the other hand, ready to wreck the Democratic system.
You can hear from Voss and from Lexington developer Dudley Webb on where things stand at Centerpoint on Kentucky Newsmakers. It airs in its entirety Sunday morning at 6 on WKYT. It repeats Sunday at 10 a.m. on the CW Lexington. Ben Carson says he and Donald Trump have buried the hatchet after months of campaigning against each other. At a news conference in Palm Beach, Florida today, Carson, who dropped out of the race earlier in the month, says he has gotten to know two Donald Trumps. Carson says there's the personality reflected on stage and a side of Trump who is a private thinker who considers things carefully. And President Obama isn't running this year, but he could be a factor in the upcoming campaign. And Rasmussen's daily tracking poll puts Obama's national approval rating right now at 50%. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
Well, they came from numerous backgrounds, but they all had one thing in common, a desire to be an American citizen. Today, a naturalization ceremony was held at Transylvania University. More than 150 people from 49 different countries took part in becoming citizens, including Arturo Monroy from Mexico, who says he's been looking forward to this for a long time.
So my mom, she's going to be happy as pie. She is so excited about this, too. She's been wanting me to do this for years, and finally I did it.
After the ceremony, Arturo even registered to vote. This is the third year in a row Transy has hosted a naturalization ceremony on campus.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
And we are tracking temperatures out there running in the low and even some mid-60s across parts of central and eastern Kentucky. Very pleasant day when you just think about these numbers. So if you just looked at that map, you'd be like, that's not bad at all. But we have some clouds out there, so that's kind of keeping the sunshine away. So if you're not a fan of a cloudy day, certainly not your kind of day, at least as far as the skies are concerned. Everywhere across central or eastern Kentucky, just very mild, especially for this time of year. You even think back to yesterday, we were in the mid-70s, so we're still very comfortable compared to where we could be during this time in March. I think we were just digging out of some snow around this time last year. We had, of course, the early in the month, around the 4th, 5th, but still digging out and getting rid of it, still lingering when you're talking a couple of feet in some cases. So we are much better off, I believe. Even overnight and into the early morning hours, you're going to watch these temperatures continue to drop through the 50s, probably in the low 50s, a few upper 40s out there. That has a little bit of a chill. It's even trying to paint one into Lexington now. Out to across southern and eastern Kentucky, probably a little bit warmer for you folks there. Tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, low and mid-70s. Likely breakout for daytime highs for us, so we're right back in there. But we will have some rain around, though our Defender radar network isn't picking up on the rain in Kentucky just yet. It has all the clouds, but we will. You can see all the showers coming together along the Gulf Coast there. That is the rain that's going to be advancing and moving more toward the north as an area of low pressure that's so deep. And by deep, I mean it's just in such an odd location there all the way across parts of Texas, and will continue to track toward the north and spread that moisture into Kentucky. We'll be talking about those rains. At least an isolated chance coming up into the day tomorrow, and a few more showers likely as we go rolling into Sunday. Here's the way it all comes together with our hour by hour there. You see the low, you see the rain out ahead of it. So it will continue to push those showers into Kentucky as we get into early tomorrow morning. Hit or miss showers possible, but better chances as we get a little bit later on in the day, and likely scattered even at that time period. So I'm trying to come together across Tennessee, and then finally getting into Kentucky during the second half of the day. Shower, you might even hear a rumble of thunder or two. Certainly a possibility with those, and that's just the kind of setup that we're looking at. Here's a 7-day forecast. We'll keep rain chances around from one end of the 7-day to the other. Now, does that mean it's going to rain all day, every single day? No. You will have some breaks, just like as we head into the day tomorrow. And I keep talking about that chill that's going to be in the air. Look at the end of that 7-day forecast. Hello, 40s for highs. Now, not lows, and even a chilly night at that. But that's so far in the 7-day. We've got a lot of warmth leading up to that.
Yeah, we're not even worried about that at all. Not even close to thinking about it.
Not yet.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Live looks at Lexington rush hour traffic this afternoon, monitoring traffic flow on the inner and outer loops of the Circle and on Man of War. We've got a collision working outbound Russell Cave at New Circle. That's a non-injury, and now one on Liberty near the Circle. Drive times this afternoon to Nicholasville, 12 to 15 minutes. It looks like outbound to Winchester, 64 looks good, and no problems to Paris on Paris Pike. Police are running radar near the Fayette-Bourbon County line. Now back to you in the studio.
Big crowd outside Bridgestone Arena. LSU has defeated Tennessee. Texas A&M also winning. When we come back, Brian Milam will join me. We'll talk about Tyler Eulis. Stay with us. We're back after the break.
8 Amazing Race teams hit the Alps.
Oh my gosh.
And the Alps.
I'm afraid.
I got you. Hit back.
I'm so scared.
New Amazing Race tonight. They'll do whatever it takes to save one of their own. Or die trying.
Somebody very important to me is at risk.
New Hawaii 5-0, and then a reckless rookie.
I want you to mentor him.
Hey, sit tight! Divides brothers.
Not everybody's cut out to be a cop. You don't get to make that call, Jamie.
New Blue Bloods after Hawaii 5-0 tonight.
Make time this spring to escape to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where the only thing you'll want to do is have fun in the sun. Let the sound of the ocean's tide take all your cares away and leave you refreshed to experience something new. It's your moment to let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
The joys of pizza delivery. Always waiting and waiting. And you never really know where your pizza's been when you order delivery. So why wait an hour or more when fresh pizzeria-style pizzas, whole or by the slice, are yours in just minutes at Speedway? A rich, buttery crust, real mozzarella cheese, and fresh pepperoni, all ready for you at Speedway. Why wait for delivery when Speedway's got fresh hot pizza in just minutes?
We're on your way, the convenience stores of Speedway.
Now buy one slice of pizza at Speedway and get your second slice free.
There's a lot to see at Nissan Now. Award-winning safety, reimagined design, and premium interiors. 5 exciting new models. This is Nissan Now.
Choose a $189 per month lease on the 2016 Nissan Altima or the 2016 Nissan Rogue. Get your new Nissan now. Shop your local Nissan store and choose Nissan.com.
Sleep is a critical component of our athletic training at UK.
Our sleep experts are the champions at matching our customers to the best bed for them.
This week at Sleep Outfitters, get a free TV with qualifying purchase, like this Sealy Pillow Top Queen Set with gel foam, now only $4.99, plus a free TV. Go to sleepoutfitters.com for store locations and hours.
Sleep Outfitters, official sleep provider of UK athletics. Sleep like a champion, play like a champion.
Insurance companies demand prompt and full payment of your premiums. Shouldn't you receive prompt and full payment of your claims? When you don't, you know who to call. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Get WKYT news and weather updates on 98.1 The Bull.
And welcome back to Nashville, where Kentucky opens up the postseason tonight against the Alabama Crimson Tide in the SEC quarterfinals. And once again, for the third time this season, Alabama will have to go up against point guard Tyler Eulis. The SEC Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year, creates fits for every team.
Last season, he waited, grabbing minutes whenever it was time for his platoon to check in. And when he was on the floor, Tyler Eulis would look inside. Now,
we're more guard-oriented, and, we have 3 guards who, play well together. Last year, we could just throw the ball, and Carl just keep throwing it in and play off him. But, this is a complete different team.
Kentucky's offense flows through Jamal Murray, but it starts with Eulis, who is likewise a threat from the outside,
and he loves to go inside.
It's a lot of fun going in there. Guys think they're going to block my shot, and, you know, you just stop on a dime, shoot some floaters, stuff like that. You know, it's just part of my game that, you know, I work on every day.
Ulis was part of what seemed like an all-star team last season with rotating point guards. This year, there is basically one man running the show.
You know, they had more experience last year with this team. We have a lot of young guys. You know, we have kids like Jamal. You know, he's a baby out there, Isaiah, Scal, and guys like that. So, you know, I have to, you know, show them the ropes.
The shots are falling and the offense is clicking so well that when the national discussion centers on Kentucky, the talk begins with the point guard.
He is a pro. Okay, he can play on the professional level. You know, he's probably better than a lot of guys that are there now. He's good, man. He can do everything.
You know, you're talking about a Player of the Year nationally candidate. If there's a better point guard in the country, you got to show me who he is. And I got to watch tape.
You know, I've always expected to play at this type of level, and, you know, I'm happy I'm getting it done.
All right, Brian Milam is right here with me. Brian, just how valuable is Tyler Ulis to this Kentucky team?
Well, I think he is the most valuable Wildcat we've had here since maybe Anthony Davis. And granted, not 6'11", he's the exact opposite, but he is the most important point guard Kentucky has had maybe since Anthony Epps. Who knows? He has done it all, and he's been the leader, he's been the captain, and you're not the SEC Player of the Year and the Defensive Player of the Year for nothing.
Well, we look forward to watching him again tonight. Kentucky and Alabama, 7 o'clock